Can one decision change the course of history? Well, I don't really think so, but I think multiple decisions can. The next story is all about that. How one discovery shaped the world in two different ways. Please enjoy. When we were young, we dreamed of the apocalypse. The end of the world sounded like a new beginning. Grey cities overgrown with wild vine, dandelions cracking through the concrete. Trapped in our small office cubicles, we yearned to be among the last of mankind. A tribe closer than a family, living off the earth instead of munching frozen pizza. I ate frozen pizza 2 days ago. It was thawed and moldy and the best thing I had eaten for months. I stole it from a small boy, brave warrior that I am. In return, he cut my arm with his little Swiss Army knife. The wound is starting to smell like death. I'm rotting while still walking. In our dreams, we fought the walking dead. But we are the zombies now, scuffling through our days, mindlessly hunting for food, for water, a tiny bits of warmth. Always on the run, but with nowhere to go. There is no hidden paradise to strive towards, no city promising shelter from the cold autumn wind. Not anymore. We saw the mushroom clouds 3 days ago. The town we were heading to had been destroyed. My cousin, the last remaining member of my family, had lived there. His death felt like a betrayal. In the movies I've seen, only strangers have died. There's no radiation, a woman whispers, holding a Derek Geiger counter. A shiver runs down my spine. They finally did it. They had turned hatred energy into a weapon. That's it. We're going to lose. An old man mumbles, more to himself than to us. I don't know his name, nor the name of any of the others. In summer, people had still been talking. We sat around the fire, chatting about our old lives, sharing our hopes for the future. As the days turned shorter, our dreams grew smaller. A house became a shed, and in the end, a warm blanket. I even found myself a girlfriend back there. Her eyes were as blue as the sky had once been. The sky had vanished when the first bomb fell. It was kind of disappointing, really. No glorious firestorm, just a dull thud. My mother stepped out of the cellar afterwards, just a tiny bit too early. The hot air burned her lungs as if they were paper. When autumn came, the flu broke out. Our wise leader commanded us to leave the deceased behind, lest we all perished. He checked all of us himself, casting us those who had caught the illness. Curiously, all of his opponents seemed to catch a special strain of the virus, one without any symptoms, but, as he said, deadly nonetheless. My love, her face red with fever, begged me to stay with her. I left. They want to steal our technology. We have to defend it, the president had proclaimed on the eve of war. As if Hadron technology had ever been ours, my grandfather scoffed, throwing the remote at the TV, nearly missing it. Mother yelled at him. The TV had been really expensive, but he was right. The patent belonged to a company that hoarded the secret like a miser, while his brightly colored ads promised us the moon. Hadron energy would make our lives easier, cleaner, and healthier, if we were willing to pay the price. We had been, but others not. Several foreign nations demanded access to the new technology. The company refused, ordering our government to defend it. So the bombs began to fall. My girlfriend's sky blue eyes still haunt my dreams. I welcome these nightmares. They remind me that there was color once, that yellow and orange leaf danced in the autumn wind, which now carries nothing but ash. Now and then, I stare at the screen of my cell phone. I bought it just before the war began. I grinded my teeth as I handed over the money. I had sworn to never buy a hadron-powered device. They were so ridiculously overpriced. But oil coil resources had been dwindling, and in order to promote the new technology, the government had stopped funding renewable energy sources. There was no other choice than to switch to hadron. We protested at first, then stopped. It had been easier to pay than to fight. My phone's dead now. Even if there was anyone of my family still left, they couldn't reach me. A man lies on the ground. Dead or dying, I do not know. He coughs violently, spitting black slime on the grimy street. In our dreams, we had been healthy, steeled warriors with manly beards. My belly's gone now, but I'm weaker. My bony legs can't carry me for more than half an hour. I can't feel my fingers anymore. As I unwrap my bandages, I discover that they are black, like the earth. Soon I will lie on the ground, dying. They said January committed suicide. I think about him often during these last days. Dr. Phileas January, the man who had discovered hadron energy. When January had made his discovery, an hourglass had been turned. From this moment on, our days had been numbered. I feel the last grain of sand falling to the ground as my legs give out. The newscaster sounded excited, despite her best efforts to keep her voice even. Her words sounded too good to be true. A new energy source had been discovered. Clean, renewable, safe. They showed us pictures of the conference, a gigantic gathering of geniuses from all around the globe. The reporters announced their names as if they were rock stars, but nobody knew any of them. Except for my cousin, who kept on shouting, "Oh, that guy, he discovered neutrinos, and that woman over there, she developed this awesome new battery." Nerd. The cameras always returned to the man who started it all. If that Professor January was so smart, why didn't he sell the patent? My mother scoffed. He could have been a millionaire. But she didn't complain 3 months later, when our electricity bill had been cut in half. Shortly after, the first hadron-powered devices hit the market. Phones whose battery recharged themselves, cars that could circumvent the globe twice before needing a pit stop. I stood in line at our local car dealer, trying to buy one of the first models. They were ridiculously cheap, as the technology was open source. I almost got the last one in stock, but I got a girlfriend instead. Our hands touched as we both reached for the keys. I let her have the car, and she offered to drive me home. She smiled as we glided noiselessly through the streets, smelling the sweet air through the open roof. Her eyes were as blue as the sky above us. It was reckless of January to put on the formula on the internet like that, my grandfather grumbled. What if the Russians turned it into a weapon? Mother and I laughed at his mumblings. With the energy crisis solved, what was there to fight over? As oil and gas lost their appeal, dictators found their bank accounts shrinking. When we were young, we dreamed of the apocalypse. Maybe because, as the summers grew hotter, we felt it approaching. But when January made his discovery, an hourglass was turned. And suddenly, mankind had time. We don't dream of the apocalypse anymore. I just realized that the whole story was written from a male perspective, so maybe I should have worn pants. But anyway, if you liked the story, please press like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.